So if you're looking for simple answers as to why marketing doesn't work very well today for most businesses, it's really as simple as the fact that most businesses, and it's not a bad thing necessarily, it's just they're so busy that they don't have time to put the thought required to break through the noise today. So if you're going to break through noise, you've got to take some time because there's so many competing messages out there. The average American, in fact, is exposed to over 3,000 messages every single day. And depending on who you listen to and how broadly they define communication messages, some studies say it's up to 30,000 impressions a day, logos, things like that. Look around the room you're in right now, you're going to find people's logos. And so if you're going to break through this noise, you've got to have a clear, compelling plan. You've got to put some deep thought. Again, we've talked about this a lot on this website. You've got to think about what it is that you're saying that matters to those clients. Then you've got to think about your strategies. What blows my mind today is if this is so important, if marketing is the most important thing that you're going to do for your business, and it is because marketing generates revenue and profit, and that allows you to have the resources you need to do everything else in your business, right? If you run out of revenue, you run out of gas and you're done. That's why marketing is the most critical thing you'll ever work on in your business. If that's the truth, then put some time into it. Put some thought into it. Doesn't matter where you do it, whether you work with a company or whether you do it on your own, you've got to take the time to do it. What I've found, ironically, after talking with thousands of businesses, literally over the last 10 years, is that very few businesses actually have a clear, compelling marketing plan. They do not have a clear strategy or a clear, unique value, and they haven't thought it through. They haven't looked at what are the action steps to implement this plan. If you do that, you can maximize your resources. You can minimize waste too, because if you've got a plan, all of a sudden, you don't have to sit around and worry about every single person that wants to sell you an ad. You can now say, these are the ads that match our strategy because here's our demographics and here's who we're targeting. You can say, here's the strategies we need to implement and which one's the biggest priority right now. You can say, here's the next 10 action steps we need to take to get somewhere. Now, it's a simple concept, but the reality is, number one, almost no businesses have a clear actual marketing plan. Number two is the ones that do, half the time it's because they want to raise funds for their business. It's not because they really want to market. And the other half the time, it's some kind of vague, simple framework that doesn't really matter. It's kind of thing they read one time and then they put it up on the shelf, right? That's not going to cut it. What you need, no matter how you get it, is a clear, actionable marketing plan that does a couple things. Number one, it gets some real research on your customers first, because your customers are the whole enchilada, right? If you don't understand them and what their needs are, then nothing else matters. So first, understanding your customers and their problem. Second, understanding your competition. Because if you don't know what's normal in your industry, what others are doing in your industry, you have no baseline. And all value comes from contrast. It comes from the ability to show people, here's where we are now, what's normal, and here's why we're different. If they don't know where they are or what's normal, they have no way of telling whether something's different or unique. So contrast is important. That comes from understanding your competitors. Third, understanding yourself. What's your values, your vision, your purpose? And secondly, what are the resources you have? How do you uniquely solve problems for customers? What can you do differently? How can you combine with other companies or other things, strategic alliances to create value adds for your customers? If you can nail those things, then the end result is now you have the foundation of a clear, unique value. Once you establish a clear understanding of your customers and that clear, unique value, you can really look at strategies. And so as you go through strategies, you look at what are the key strategies you need to implement and how do you do it. From there, you can create clear action steps and you can start to cost things out and you can start to understand what really matters. That's going to save you so much time in the long term. Even though it may take some time to do this, the clarity that comes from that will save you lots of money. And on the flip side of that, having a clear plan that you track as you implement it will allow you to make massive amounts of money too, because now you're going to start communicating in a comprehensive way.